Well, we made it through August, and still, the restricted free agents haven't been signed.
Nope. Still waiting on a few key names.
Exactly. So in this deep dive, we will discuss two of those teams, the Bulls and the Nets.
Good ones to look at. Lots of moving parts there.
For sure. But that's not all today. We're diving into some hidden pressures, maybe some unexpected breakouts, and strategic gambles that are, quietly shaping the league's future.
Yeah, looking beyond the headlines, stuff like overlooked player values, international action.
Exactly. From those overlooked values to international proving grounds, each story we explore kind of reveals how teams and players are navigating this tightrope between potential and, well, reality. Get ready for a deep dive. Okay, let's unpack this with our first team, the Chicago Bulls, and the intriguing case of Josh Giddey. He's a restricted free agent, obviously, and there's a lot of talk about his shooting development being key to his next contract.
Yeah, and what's truly fascinating here, I think, is how much Giddey's evolution as a shooter can fundamentally alter not just his value, but the Bulls' whole offensive scheme.
Right.
Last season, he hit that career-best 37.8% from three, taking about 4 attempts per game. That's a pretty significant leap from the 33% he shot the year before.
It really is.
And the expectation isn't like for him to become this high-volume sniper overnight, but more to make defenses pay for sagging off him. Force them to respect the shot.
Makes him way more dangerous.
Totally.
So if he can maintain, say, like a 37% clip on maybe 4 or 5 attempts a game, that's probably enough to completely change how he's guarded.
Absolutely. It opens up his incredible playmaking, those driving lanes.
Which is his bread and butter.
Exactly. He averaged 7.2 assists last year, and some people think that could climb, maybe 8 or 9 assists while keeping his turnovers down. They were around 2.9 last season. Pretty solid.
But here's my question. Given the Bulls' consistent struggles with rim protection and perimeter defense, is relying on Giddey's potential offensive growth really a sustainable solution for them?
Yeah.
Or is it just sort of patching over deeper systemic issues?
That is the critical challenge, isn't it? Giddey himself has said he believes the player he was at the end of last season, that's his true self. But if we connect this to the bigger picture, the Bulls have had a serious lack of rim protection for years, and only a couple of really strong perimeter defenders.
It's been a constant theme.
And their offense has sputtered against zone defenses sometimes, which just highlights the need for more shooting overall.
Right.
So the real insight here, I think, is that Giddey's offensive evolution, if it's sustained, isn't just about his personal stats. It's probably the Bulls' most cost-effective and immediate path to rebalancing a defensively challenged roster.
So it buys them time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Buys them time before maybe more drastic, more expensive overhauls become, unavoidable.
Okay, makes sense. Speaking of players whose value is shifting and the complex decisions they create, let's move east to the Brooklyn Nets. Day'Ron Sharpe's dramatic improvement last season is forcing a different kind of big man battle. Can he truly challenge Nick Claxton for that starting center job?
Day'Ron Sharpe has, undeniably secured a long-term NBA role with how he played last season. It was impressive.
What stood out?
Well, his defensive improvement was just astounding. He posted a negative 6.7 defensive rating swing. That ranked 6th best among NBA centers playing over 600 minutes.
Wow, minus 6.7. That's huge.
It's almost an unheard of leap, honestly. It fundamentally changes how opponents attack the paint when he's on the floor. He showed incredible mobility, range, scheme, versatility, hedging, recovering, even switching onto guards sometimes.
And the technique improved, too. Less fouling.
Oh, yeah. Huge improvement in technique and keeping the foul rate down. Massive strides there.
Okay, when I was looking at Sharpe's impact, the numbers that really jumped out at me were his offensive rebounding and the Nets net rating when he played.
Oh, yeah.
He had the second highest offensive rebounding percentage in the league among players with over 600 minutes, and theoretically the highest per 100 possessions in NBA history if he qualified for the leaderboards.
That's wild.
And the Nets net rating. A staggering plus 13.3 during his minutes. That's 98th percentile for big men. That's not just bench impact. That's winning basketball.
Yeah.
Almost historically good impact.
Absolutely. His motor is relentless. He eats contact, reads the ball's trajectory so well off the rim. Yeah. And like we said, the improved defensive technique, huge.
Right.
He's also, interestingly, a better screener and decision maker in dribble handoffs than Claxton.
Okay, so that adds another layer.
It does. But his limitations are still there. He's still a below-average finisher at the rim, low 60s for his career, and he doesn't really have a consistent mid-range or floater game yet. So here's the crucial dilemma, right? Can a player with those specific offensive limitations truly be a starting caliber center on a real playoff level team? Or is his impact actually maximized as an elite specialized role player coming off the bench?
Okay, but his defensive impact is that good, 98th percentile, you said, and he's a better screener than Claxton. Does that make his finishing limitations maybe a secondary concern for a team like the Nets who are looking to rebuild? Or is it still kind of a non-starter for a true playoff contender?
That's the debate.
Because it feels like this creates a real dilemma. Sharp is younger. They're clearly retooling. Claxton got his extension. Sharp at that recent 2-year deal. This whole center arrangement might just be untenable in the long run.
Could be, especially with their front office's track record of finding talented centers later in the draft.
Yeah.
So the Nets' situation with Sharp isn't just about personnel. It's like a micro lesson in modern NBA team building.
How so?
Can an elite specialized role player actually scale up to a starting role on a contender? Or will his offensive gaps always kind of cap the team's ceiling, making them maybe invaluable off the bench, but a strategic hindrance as a starter? It's fascinating.
Definitely something to watch. Okay, from the dilemmas of established big men, let's pivot to a team grappling with its identity post-rebuild. The Toronto Raptors.
Ah, yes.
As they come out of their, let's call it, retooling phase, what does a truly successful season even look like for them? How many wins do they need, you think, to mark it as a success?
Yeah, that's a great question. For many fans, I think the mid-40s, maybe around 44 wins, that would feel like clear success. Probably gets you a top 6 spot, avoids the play-in.
Okay, seems reasonable.
But, success isn't just about the win total, especially for a team at this stage. Even a .500 record, say 41 wins, could be seen as successful if it comes with significant individual growth from the younger guys.
Like who?
Guys on the bench like Grady Dick, Jacoby Walter, maybe Colin Murray-Boyles. Think of it like choosing between a quick, satisfying meal and planting seeds for a future harvest. Sometimes the less flashy option is actually the wiser one long term.
Planting seeds. I like that. So, for the team's core and their future, what does this actually mean for their direction then? What's the biggest factor you're looking at?
For me, it's about clarity. Clarity on the fit and the actual value of guys like Emmanuel Quickley, Scottie Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Jacob Halpel, R.J. Barrett.
The main guys.
Right. They need to prove their contracts are worth it, or maybe become valuable trade assets down the line.
And who's the key piece in all that?
I think the ultimate swing guy for this team's success has to be Brandon Ingram. His versatility, his offensive firepower, it's critical.
So if he plays well.
If he elevates the team, it solidifies their core. If he struggles to integrate or doesn't perform up to that max contract level, well, it creates a massive strategic headache for their long-term vision.
Yeah, buyer's remorse is real.
Exactly. A truly successful year means avoiding that buyer's remorse on those big contracts and just gaining a clearer path forward for the franchise.
And what if things go sideways? If we look back in 5 years, what would be the overlooked flaws we missed now?
Good question. It could be a lack of real guard skills beyond Quickley, and maybe insufficient switchable wing defense. The modern NBA just demands both if you want to be truly competitive.
For sure.
So the critical decision for them is, can they develop these internal options, guys already on the roster, or will they need to look externally for players with those critical skills, like pull-up shooting or strong point-of-attack defense?
Tough calls ahead for them. Okay, let's turn our attention now to the New Orleans Pelicans, where, interestingly, the fans have spoken, and their voice seems surprisingly clear.
Oh, what's the verdict?
A recent survey suggests Trey Murphy III, not Zion Williamson, is seen as the heart and soul and maybe the most untouchable player by their fan base. It's kind of bold, isn't it?
Whoa, okay, that is a genuinely eye-opening insight. Seriously.
Yeah. A full 76% of fans in this survey named Trey as most important player outside of Zion, and a staggering 73% considered him untouchable compared to Zion's like 7%.
7% for Zion. Wow.
I know. Fans clearly love Trey's approachable charisma, his highlight plays, the dunks, the deep threes, and his engagement with the community. He feels like a sure thing, amidst all the complexities surrounding Zion.
That speaks volumes about the emotional connection he's built there, more than just stats.
Totally. But his on-court play certainly backs it up too. Last season, in just 53 games, he averaged 21.2 points. That ranked 40th in the entire NBA.
21 points a game. That's legit.
Yeah, more than De'Aaron Fox, very close to all-stars like Jaylen Brown and James Harden. Those aren't small names to be near.
No kidding. And he provides that elite floor spacing, right? Takes a ton of threes.
Yep, 8.3 threes per game. shooting 36% and hitting 3 per game. That just opens up the court for everyone else, creates those crucial driving lanes.
And the defense is coming along, too.
He's shown significant growth as a defender, has the tools to be elite, capable of guarding multiple positions. Plus, he's developed more of an in-between game attacking closeouts, finishing with finesse, not just dunking everything.
So he can impact the game without needing the ball constantly. That makes him incredibly versatile.
Valuable.
Exactly. So what's truly exciting now is figuring out the path for him to reach actual all-star status. What does he need to add?
Yeah, okay. He definitely needs to improve his creation off the dribble, things like adding a consistent mid-range pull-up or being more aggressive attacking the basket himself. And his
His assists did jump last season, right?
They did, up to 3.5 per game. Another leap there, maybe towards 4.5 or 5 assists per game, that would be crucial. And of course, consistency, night in, night out.
So if he keeps improving like this.
If he continues on this trajectory, the Pelicans could become a pretty consistent playoff lock. And Trey serves as, like you suggested, crucial Zion insurance, but also maybe a true co-star.
So for you, the listener, this means keeping a close eye on how the Pelicans manage that dynamic duo, or maybe trio if you count Brandon Ingram still. It's a fascinating situation down there.
Okay, let's head west now to Sacramento and discuss Keon Ellis. The Kings picked up his team option, which makes him an unrestricted free agent next offseason.
Yes, the Keon Ellis situation.
And the possibility of losing him for absolutely nothing? That's got to be pretty terrifying for Kings fans. I can see why.
Oh, absolutely. This is a classic case, really. The team gains flexibility now, keeps the cap hit low this year, but they potentially lose significant leverage later.
And Ellis is considered way underpaid.
Well, widely considered criminally underpaid at around $2.5 million for next season, especially given how critical he was in their rotation.
Yeah, he played big minutes.
And he's a human being, right?
Yeah.
Sources suggest he's feeling, understandably, disappointment and frustration. He apparently hoped for a contract extension this summer, maybe in the $12, $13 million per year range.
And who can blame him?
Exactly. Imagine putting in that kind of work, exceeding all expectations, playing a key role, and then the team essentially says, thanks, great job, we'll see you next year? Maybe. It's the kind of decision that can really test a player's loyalty, you know?
So if Ellis is indeed feeling this frustration and knowing how quickly the market moves, isn't there a pretty significant risk for the Kings in delaying an extension, even with Keegan Murray also due for a big deal soon? What does this do to his value on the open market next summer?
You're hitting on the core tension right there. He's an incredibly talented defender, we know that. A 40+% three-point shooter.
2 things every team wants.
Precisely. And in today's scared money NBA market, largely because of the second apron system, a player like Ellis on a, say, $12, $15 million annual contract, that's like finding gold.
Explain the apron thing again quickly.
Sure. The second apron basically punishes teams with really severe restrictions on trades, exceptions, signing players if they go way over the salary cap. So flexible, impactful players like Ellis on reasonable mid-level deals become incredibly rare and super valuable, especially for contending rosters.
Gotcha. So he's like the perfect fit for many teams.
He's plug and play. Fits into almost any lineup seamlessly. You gotta assume 29 other teams are likely very, very interested.
So the big question for Sacramento is,
if they prioritize extending Keegan Murray first, which they probably have to, will they have the room or the willingness to offer Ellis what he's actually worth before he hits that open market?
Yeah.
Losing him for nothing would be a significant blow, especially to their whole vision of building this blue-collar, hard-working team identity. He embodied that.
Yeah, that would sting.
Okay.
Okay, from high-stakes contract talks in Sacktown, let's shift our focus to a different kind of pressure cooker. The international stage. EuroBasket has been going on, captivating fans and showcasing some incredible NBA talent.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch some amazing performances.
What's really fascinating, I think, is just the sheer dominance of guys like Luka Doncic and Nikola Jokic.
Oh, for sure. Carrying their teams.
Luka had that triple-double for Slovenia against Belgium. 26 points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists, 3 steals. He's looked like an MVP contender for the whole tournament. Incredible ball handling, shot making, just living at the free throw line.
He's been unreal individually.
But his team, Slovenia, is struggling, right? Sitting at 1 and 2 in their group last I checked. That's a bit surprising given Luka's individual brilliance. What are the implications there, maybe for his NBA player, the Mavs?
Yeah, it's tough for them. They've lost key players to withdraw before the tournament. They really lack a consistent lob threat for Luka, and they're struggling defensively overall.
Mm.
Luka is almost, as one observer put it, dragging a team that gets almost like worse and worse every year. It just highlights the challenge of international play, even for a superstar, when the supporting cast isn't quite there.
So for you, the listener.
Yeah, for you, the listener, it's a good reminder, I think, that even the most individually brilliant players, like Luka, need a coherent team structure around them to translate those individual heroics into consistent wins. Something the Mavericks front office should definitely be paying attention to back in Dallas.
Good point. And then, yeah, the other guy, Nikola Jokic, he put on an absolute masterclass for Serbia against Latvia. That was just an incredible performance to watch.
Oh man, he was dominant. 39 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists. And most of his scoring was just bullying guys inside the paint. Serbia dominated paint, scoring 42-22 in that game.
He was in full best player in the world mode.
Absolutely. Using that footwork, those hips, just masterfully pushing Kristaps Porzingis around in the post. It was something else.
And with Bogdan Bogdanovic out injured for Serbia.
Right. With Bogey out, Jokic's heightened aggression, his ability to just adapt and do exactly what the team needs, it becomes even more critical. He's showing that regular season MVP level aggression definitely carries over to the international stage when needed.
So this aggression we're seeing, maybe a preview for the Nuggets season.
Could be. This heightened aggression from Jokic isn't just for Serbia, it is a potential preview. With Bogdanovic out, he's being forced to activate their more dominant primary scoring mentality.
Which is scary for the rest of the NBA.
For Nuggets fans, this showcases an even more dangerous, adaptable Jokic who can just shift his game to whatever the team demands. And yeah, that's a truly terrifying prospect for the rest of the league.
So the big question facing Serbia now is,
with their clear second-best player out, can they maintain their status as tournament favorites purely on Jokic's individual brilliance and the team's ability to adapt around him? It's a heavy lift, even for Joker.
We'll see how that plays out. And that wraps up our deep dive into today's NBA landscape.
A lot going on behind the scenes.
Definitely. What all these stories ultimately show us, I think, is that the league's future isn't just decided purely on the court during games. It's forged in these quiet negotiations, the unexpected breakouts we talked about, and the strategic gambles that often play out far from the spotlight.
Yeah, the stuff between the games matters just as much sometimes.
We've unpacked the crucial decisions facing the Bulls and Nets with their restricted free agents, the Raptors' quest for what constitutes a successful rebuild, and the rising star power of Trey Murphy III down in New Orleans.
Plus the Keon Ellis contract situation and the EuroBasket action.
Exactly. We also looked at the Kings' precarious situation with Keon Ellis and those incredible and sometimes challenging performances over in EuroBasket.
Bit stuff.
Thank you for joining us for this extensive look at the league. What's the next domino to fall in this ever-evolving league? We'll keep watching. Check out our other deep dives.